This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook. Today, we're examining the 1994 events. This is Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, and in 1994, this woman, Nancy Kerrigan, she was attacked with a telescoping bat, and it was like a mob hit. Somebody tried to break her leg, her right leg, just immediately prior to the Olympics. And it just riveted the American public. So this happened on January 6, 1994, just immediately prior to the Lillehammer Olympics, the World Skating Championship in Lillehammer, Norway. I kind of wish I was from Lillehammer, because then I could say I'm from Lillehammer, and people would think I was cooler. So anyway, I've been looking, I've been looking at these. It's like the 23-year anniversary. There was just a biographical movie on in 2017 called I, Tanya, about this woman, Tanya Harding. And it's a fascinating story. I find it just absolutely fascinating. Tanya Harding, this woman who, there's 5 people involved. And I want to examine, basically there's 4 men, okay? There's her ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly. Okay, so Tanya Harding was married to Jeff Gillooly. And can't you just see her like drawing little hearts, and Jeff Gillooly and Tanya Gillooly? No, I think she kept her name as Harding. Anyway, so there's this guy, Jeff Gillooly, her ex-husband, who I believe she had divorced after all of this brouhaha. Her bodyguard, she had a bodyguard. Tanya Harding had a bodyguard named Richard Eckhart, Mr. Eckhart, Jeff Eckhart, at, is that right? Eckhart, right. And then the person who whacked, there was a man hired to break her right leg, and his name is Shane Stant. And then there's another man who drove the getaway car, Derek Smith. Okay, so all 4 of those men spent time in prison for this crime, and Tanya Harding did not spend any time in prison. She was given 3 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and a $160,000 fine. Okay, so the criminal justice system did not bring justice to Tanya Harding. The U.S. Figure Skating Association stripped, because she's the person, she's the beneficiary of all of this. Okay, there's these other 4 men. Who benefits? Cui bono, okay? Her leg, this woman, Nancy Kerrigan, her right leg was, a mob hit to break her right leg, so she couldn't compete against Tanya Harding. Tanya Harding is the only beneficiary, and she's the only one who didn't go to jail. So the U.S. Figure Skating Association, they stripped her of all of her titles. They banned her for life as a skater and as a coach. Wow. Just really, okay, so, the real punishment for Tanya Harding came from the U.S. Figure Skating Association and not from the criminal justice system. That's kind of typical. And the 4 men who were just sort of involved they all went to prison. I just find that very interesting. That's just so typical. Anyway, so here I want to do a spread, and this is a relationship spread. I want to do 2 relationship spreads. I want to kind of figure out what is going on. Okay, there's a relationship. She's the only beneficiary of this, and it's a competition between Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. And so Tanya Harding, obviously, Nancy Kerrigan is her biggest competition, and Tanya, Maxine Harding, wants to win the Olympics. So first, I want to examine, how bad was their relationship, and then I want to examine the relationship between Tanya Harding and this criminal thing. So I'm going to throw 2 relationship spreads, and Tanya Harding got away with it. She got away with it. I mean, in the legal sense, she got away with it. So what is the relationship between these 2 ladies, Tanya Harding and her competition, Nancy Kerrigan. Nancy Kerrigan ended up going to the Olympics. She recovered, her leg was not broken, and she won a silver medal. Okay, and, success is the best revenge. Tanya Harding placed 8th. Okay, so it's a real tragedy. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating tragedy. So what is the relationship between Harding, how bad was it? Let's just look at that first. How bad was the relationship between Harding and Kerrigan leading up to these circumstances? Wow. So this is Harding, and this is Kerrigan. I chose Harding as strength, and Kerrigan. Interesting. Okay, so you can see that pretty good. Okay, so this is Harding, and that's Kerrigan. Okay, and I chose them as jacks because they're athletes. I chose Harding as strength. Harding was very accomplished. Okay, she's a very, very accomplished athlete. She won the 1991 U.S. champion. She's the 1991 U.S. champion. She's the 1991 world champion, silver medalist. She's this 2 times she was in the Olympics. 2 times she was the American skating champion. Tanya Harding is the first woman ever to execute a triple axel in competition. She's the first woman ever to execute a triple axel and a double toe loop in competition. So she's an amazing athlete who did not need to cheat. Interestingly, her name is Maxine, Tanya Maxine. She's a Maximus. Like in Gladiator, slave, tell me your name. And she's a Maximus, Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the north, general of the Felix legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius. She's a Maximus. So, I don't know. I don't know. She's a Maximus, and I kind of wonder if that has something to do with it. Because she didn't need to cheat. She was an amazing world-class athlete, and this is such a great tragedy. And I find... Does anyone know what Nancy Kerrigan is doing these days? I don't know what she's doing. Okay, and I still see Tanya Harding on television. So the villain has, anyway. Okay, so this is Harding. What do we have here? And this is their relationship, Harding and Kerrigan. We have earthquake. We have sun and 3 black birds. So this is 14. So 4 diamonds. This adds cornerstone. Okay, so earthquake is that's everything changes in a moment. Sun is she's a star, and she's very... And 3 black birds. This is hard work, and and fame. It was all about fame for her. She wanted to be the best. Tanya Harding wanted to be the best, and she was willing to do anything. Yeah, so she was very jealous, and she was willing to do anything, including break her opponent's leg to win. Interestingly, that's very bad commentary on Tanya Harding. She really lacks positive character. Okay, and over here on Kerrigan, okay, and this is their relationship. We have Finger of God, karmic relationship, and hamster wheel. Hamster wheel is the hard work. This is a great work card. They both got 10s. Karmic relationship. The relationship, Kerrigan was oblivious. She was just doing the work. She was doing the hard work. She felt that the relationship was fine until the day they took a bat to her knee, and the finger of God reaches down and changes everything. This is 13 and 10, 23, which is 6 clubs, olive tree. So Kerrigan, Kerrigan was completely oblivious. Okay, until the moment someone took a bat to her knee and changed her life, she was just oblivious. She thought that, they had a good relationship. Harding, on the other hand, was absolutely willing to do anything to win. And she acted very nice, like everything's fine. And I think Harding, was a double personality. Everything's fine, but she's willing to kill Kerrigan to get what she wants. She feels that Kerrigan's in her way, and she'll kill her if necessary. She'll hire somebody to break her legs. Okay, and so the outcome is cornucopia and fence sitter. This is money and reacting to circumstances, and this adds 13, which is 4 hearts. 4 hearts. So cornucopia and fence sitter. 4 hearts. Interesting. 4 hearts is home. Okay, so she's very influenced by her husband. She was married to this man, Jeff Gillooly. Okay, so Tanya Harding and Jeff Gillooly were married, and this may have primarily been Gillooly's idea. Okay, and she's there's a lot of money involved, and fame and money and reacting to circumstances. So definitely Tanya Harding, with regard to Nancy Kerrigan, she was willing to do whatever, and she really wanted to be famous, and she was willing to do whatever she needed to become famous, including, break somebody's leg or commit murder, as long as she's not caught. Kerrigan was oblivious, and Harding is being influenced, and it's about the money and the fame. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting, because Kerrigan she's just skating, and there's no drama for Kerrigan. She's a very straight arrow, and she's just skating and doing the hard work, and she's great. Okay, Harding, she acts like everything is fine, and she does the hard work, but underneath she's a boiling pot of devastated envy and willing to commit murder to get what she wants. Okay, so let's do, I really want to know, I really want to know, okay, what's the relationship between Harding and the 4 male murderers? Okay, there's 4 guys involved. There's her ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, and now she's been married 3 times, and I think she's still married. I'm not aware that she has any children. They may be protecting her children, to keep their names clean. So there's Jeff Galooly, there's Eric, there's this guy Eckhart, who was Eckhart, who was her bodyguard, and he changed his name to Brian Sean Griffith, and he died at 40. Okay, so that's a tragedy. And then there's the actual hitter, the guy who broke Kerrigan's leg. He didn't break her leg, he bruised her leg, and that's why she was able to compete in the Olympics. And then there's the getaway driver, Derek Smith. So I want to understand the relationship, okay, between the men, because there's 4 men who went to prison. Harding skated. She just got some community service and a fine, which is typical. And then the U.S. Figure Skating Association, they doled out the real punishment, okay, because her life was set. She was a world-famous, world-class athlete, figure skater, and they just took it all away from her. She couldn't be a coach. She couldn't skate on the ice. Her name was persona non grata. I mean, it's a fascinating story for Harding. Harding is a very, very fascinating person, and I still see Harding on like the Comedy Central with Donnie Bonaducci, and it's really interesting. She's an interesting person. And then she went into boxing. She was a professional boxer. For a while. I mean, she's a woman, okay, and her face is really important. So it's kind of like she's punishing herself, like having a whole bunch of women hit her in the face all the time. I mean, that seems like, some issues there. So karma's a bitch. I mean, karma will get you. So I want to know, okay, so the men got nailed. They all went to prison. Harding skated, but she got the worst of it, and she's the only one to benefit. So what is the relationship between Harding, Tanya Maximus, Harding, and the men? Okay, what is that relationship between Maximus Harding here and these men, her husband and the hitter, and I mean these men who all took the fall for this? I want to know how involved she was, because she got away with it. And in the first spread, it kind of showed that she was influenced. And she reacted to circumstances, and that she was just more, wow. Okay, we got an angel here. We got innocence showing. So here's Tanya Harding. Okay, can you see that? This is Harding. Okay, and this is all 4 men. Okay, so Harding, okay, because she skated legally. Legally, she skated. All right, so my batteries died. So anyway, this was the relationship between Tanya Harding and the men. The men there were 4 men who committed these crimes. And all the men went to jail and she didn't. And so I want to see what the relationship is. Interesting, we have an angel here. Okay, so this is Harding. She's showing inheritance, handcuffs, strength. Okay, great athlete, and I represented her in the first spread as strength, handcuffs, inheritance. So this is 21, 23. This is rooted, 6 club. This adds 6 clubs, which is olive tree. She's very committed. She's married. She's with them. There's no guilt showing on her side. Interestingly, there's no guilt. Okay, and so this is the men's side. Okay, and we have coffin, 3 blackbirds, and magi. And so magi is a very powerful manifestation card. The magi can manifest whatever they want. The 3 blackbirds, they're very active and they're talking and they're plotting. And 4 spades, coffin, this is a death card. So they did the hit. Interestingly, it is showing that the men are primarily So probably her husband, Jeff Gillooly, okay, Tanya and Jeff Gillooly, sitting in a tree. Anyway, they planned and plotted this. So it's primarily Gillooly and her bodyguard Eckert, Richard. I think his name is Richard Eckert, but it's Eckert, and he later changed his name and he died at 40. Okay, from shame, I guess. So they manifested this. She is just showing. She's showing as a great athlete. Tanya Harding is showing as very committed and inheritance. She's part of it because she's married to this guy, and this is okay. So, wow, Harding had a lot of feelings about this. She was very envious and willing to do whatever is necessary, but these were just emotions. She didn't like carry out the attack on Kerrigan. She didn't carry the attack out. She's the athlete and she's feeling the emotions, and Gillooly, as her spouse, I think really felt like he would benefit. The men really felt that they would benefit. And so the outcome, this is 11 and 5, that's 16, which is coffin. 4 spades again, death. So she's kind of innocent. And then just the steps, because I wanted to know what was the relationship between Harding and the men who carried out this mafia-style hit on Nancy Kerrigan to break her right leg, and they did not succeed. They succeeded in making Kerrigan very, very famous, and this was the most watched segment of the Olympics, like in history, and Harding's name goes down in infamy. Harding is essentially innocent. She's the angel. The angel is innocent. The angel is a child, but most of all, the angel is innocent. And these events were Jacob's ladder is step by step. These events just started happening. Harding had a lot of emotions about it. She didn't stop them, and she also didn't put these events into. She didn't set these events in motion. Her husband, Gillooly, let's ask, okay, because there's 4 men. Was it Gillooly, Harding's husband, who's the guy that set all these events in motion? It's a fascinating American tragedy, fascinating. And I find Tanya Maximus Harding, to be very interesting person. I mean, she's a very interesting person. So was it Gillooly, city ruler? Interesting. So we have city, ruler, and mustard seed. It might have not have even been Gillooly. It's many people. It's about power and being great, and the seed was planted. So this is 13 plus 8, 21, 22. 6 diamonds hand in hand. Wow. That's fascinating. It's not even Gillooly. It's fascinating. Tanya Harding just simply had the wrong people around her. Okay, and Nancy Kerrigan is the victim of this violent attack, but Tanya Harding just really had the wrong people around her. And it's not even Gillooly, her husband. Tanya Harding was married to Jeff Gillooly. Tanya Harding is kind of innocent of the attack, which I find very interesting because she's the main beneficiary. So this shows that many people were involved. So it's not Harding, it's not primarily Gillooly, it's it's probably this guy, Richard Eckert, who died at 40, who changed his name to Brian Sean Griffith and died at 40. So many people are involved and think that they're really going to benefit from Harding's ascending to the top. They just feel like there's a lot of money here and it can really work out well for them. But Harding is mostly innocent of this. She didn't stop them, but she didn't start them either. She's just an athlete working very hard in the situation. Kerrigan is working very hard in the situation. So let's sum this up. So this violent attack, the 23-year attack, Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, 1994 Lillehammer Olympics. The men who did go to, all four of them did prison time. Harding is mostly innocent, and she just went along with it. She didn't stop it. She went along with it. She was convicted. She took a plea for obstructing justice and not telling the truth. Okay, and that's how she got her tiny little slap on the wrist prison sentence, which she didn't go to jail. So it's the men. There were just a whole bunch of people involved, and Tanya Harding was kind of a broken person who was great, but had the wrong people around her. Anyway, fascinating story. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook.